Well, hello everybody. How are you doing today? I hope that all of you are doing just fine. And I'm here to tell you that yours truly is doing just fine too. Glad to be with you once again. I tell you, it really means a lot to me. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I really do appreciate it. And I would like to welcome all of you to another episode of TJ's Topics. That's right. And of course, I am TJ, and it is such a pleasure to be with you again. I consider it a joy, an honor, and a privilege to be able to come into your presence on any given occasion. And today is certainly a special occasion. Why or how, you may ask? Well, this is Labor Day weekend. That's right. If you're watching this somewhere around the end of August or the first day of September, we are in the process of celebrating Labor Day weekend. And of course, Labor Day is a very special time for every working man, woman, and young adult in America. You know, it's a special day set aside to give us an opportunity to, well, I guess do whatever we want to do, and especially to relax. But that's what Labor Day is all about. And they call it the last hurrah for summer because it's the unofficial ending of summer. And so we're getting ready to head into the month of September, or perhaps you're seeing this in September. But I tell you, we're at the end of summer, getting ready to head into autumn. Oh my goodness, or as the old folks said, fall of the year. So today I have a good little topic that I'd like to share with you for just a moment. And it sort of ties in with this weekend, Labor Day weekend. And well, actually, I tell you this, you know, with regards to working people and everything, and I think most of us have had some pretty radical experiences in the workplace over the years and led us to have to make some serious decisions, what we were going to do about it. Sometimes we had no other choice but to walk away from the situation, meaning that we had to quit, and just move on and find us a new place of employment. And so that's what I would like to talk about today. Giving a 2-week notice is completely unnecessary. That is what we are going to discuss. And there are reasons why giving a 2-week notice is not always in our best interest. Because I'm going to tell you, me, I don't believe in giving 2-week notices. All of the times that I've ever quit a job, not once did I offer my supervisor a 2-week notice. I only gave them a 2-minute notice. That's all I ever gave. And really, that's all they needed. Why in the world would I want to bother with telling them 2 weeks in advance that I'm leaving? Because first of all, when you tell your boss that you're getting ready to quit and you're getting ready to leave the job, most of the time, they're not going to be willing to cooperate with you on that end. They're not going to show compassion, and they're not going to understand. They're not going to have empathy, and they're certainly not going to offer you any incentives to retract your resignation. They're not going to do that. They're not going to all of a sudden come up and offer you some more money and offer you little perks and stuff, maybe an extended lunch break or, another week worth vacation or They're not gonna give you a promotion or uh, let you kind of have your way at work. They're not gonna do that. If you tell them that you're getting ready to quit in 2 weeks, they want you to pack your crap and get the hell up out of there. That's what they want you to do. Because when you tell them that you're planning on quitting in 2 weeks, the wheels in their brain are going to start turning instantly. And pretty soon they'll have somebody else in your place. They probably already got somebody else in mind anyway, especially if you're the type of employee who was sort of, not really following the rules, and you were sort of doing haphazard, they some I'm trying to be nice, y'all, but I've dealt with a lot in the workplace over the years, and so I'm trying to be kind. But if you're that type of person who has been something else on the job, and now all of a sudden you're leaving, or you're leaving very soon, no, they don't want you to hang around. They want you to go head on. It would be in your best interest if you did. So why would you bother, or why would anyone bother with giving a 2 week notice? It's just not worth it. So there are multiple reasons for us to not give a 2 week notice. Number one, unsafe or hostile work environment. Examples are your safety may be at risk, or you may experience harassment or hostility. No, if you're in that kind of workplace, no, you don't need to give them a 2 week notice. Give them a 2 minute notice and go head on about your business. Number two, fear of retaliation. Because sometimes these supervisors, they'll be ready to fire you right on the spot as soon as you tell them you're getting ready to quit. They'll be like, why are you going to wait 2 more weeks before you quit? You finna quit anyway. We'll just go ahead on and get rid of you. But see, if they fire you before you have an opportunity to leave on your own, guess what? They're going to owe you unemployment benefits. And sometimes they don't want to do that. See, if they fire you, they want to make it seem like it was your fault. And see, if it's your fault, you won't get benefits. But if it was like job performance or something else, well, you'll get benefits. And number three, ethical dilemmas. Being asked to do something illegal or unethical. Having to compromise your integrity, go against your character, trying to be something that you're not. That's one reason why it's never good to give a 2 week notice. Number four, personal or family emergencies. Unexpected family crisis, relocation needs. You may be moving out of town, and so you don't have time to be telling your boss, well, I just need 2 more weeks to work with y'all, and I'm gonna be moving on. No, if you get ready to move out of town, go ahead on, have your stuff already packed. Just let them know you're finna go and move. And you get you a new job when you get there. Most times when people are relocating, they already have a job lined up when they get there. They already have a place where they're going to live. And so they have to make sure that they take care of their business on the front end, or as they said, make sure you got all your ducks lined up in a row before they make a move. B.B. King had a song a long time ago, never make your move too soon. And so you have to be mindful about things like that. You don't want to move too fast and too soon, and then it doesn't work out. So therefore, you have to make sure everything, like they said, dot every I and cross every T. And you do that, then you'll be fine. Significant life events, it could be anything. I mean, whatever kind of situation arises that causes you to have to go ahead on and resign, you know. But you don't have 2 weeks to be facing these folks on the job, and you got situations in your life that you got to deal with right now. No, you just got to do what you got to do. Number 5, mental health concerns. Examples are the job is racking your brain. I mean, they are really wearing you to death. They're creating major problems for you. And the job, the problems that you're being faced with at work is somehow spilling over into your personal life. Your home, your marriage, your relationship, your kids, and your extracurricular activities. And you're not able to really enjoy life at all on account of that dead blame job. No, they don't need a 2-week notice. Give them a 2-minute notice. That's all they need. Number 6, new job opportunities. For example, the new start date may conflict with the 2-week notice time period that you want to give to your current place of employment. And so if you see where the new job that you're about to go to is running into that 2-week time frame, and they kind of want you to come on in there and get started so that they can train you and you can get into the system and everything, and they work with you, so that way by the time you're in there and get settled, you're good to go. And all this is going to take about 2 weeks. Well, there's no need in giving a 2-week notice and then going to hang around on your old job for another 2 weeks. And you already got a good job lined up, probably paying more money, better benefits and everything, a better working environment. Oh yeah, go ahead on and lead them folk. Because truth is, they're not going to miss you anyway. I mean, no job really misses anybody once they leave. If you really want to know the truth, I don't care how you leave. If you quit, you resign. If you're terminated, you get fired. Or, God forbid, if something happens and you transition. Before they bury you, they will have somebody else in your place. Meanwhile, the family and all your loved ones are left to mourn and grieve. And, they got to prepare for your homegoing. And they already got somebody else getting ready to start on your job. The job that you may have held for a long time. It's like you're there one day and gone the next. Because first thing they'll say, well, business has got to go on. Life goes on. And they're not going to hold out grieving, mourning over you. I mean, because you were just a number anyway. Matter of fact, in the on-end job you go to, you're just a number. You type a certain number in, like the Social Security number, for example, and your name and all your information pops up, and that's how they do payroll. They have to have all this information when you're coming in the door in order to know how to make out your paycheck. So, and then once you leave, well, all they do is just go on the computer and erase your number out. Pull up your name and information and just clear it out because you're no longer there. We're just numbers on these jobs. So if we're just numbers to them, then there's no need in us breaking our neck, bending over backwards, trying to be everything we can be to them, because they'll replace us just like that. And it'll be just like we were never there. So why in the world would anybody want to bother with giving 2 weeks? A 2-week notice? Give them a 2-minute notice. Throw them deuces and walk out that door. That's all you need to do. So on that note, I want to thank you very much for tuning in to this episode of TJ's Topics. And I really hope you enjoyed yourself, and I certainly enjoyed being with you on this Labor Day weekend. And I hope you have a very happy Labor Day weekend, by the way. Hope you enjoy yourself with whoever you're with, and have something good to eat and stay out the heat. Because I tell you, this being the end of summer, it's still going to be hot. But we're looking forward to the fall of the year. Finally, these temperatures will start cooling down just a little bit. And then the leaves will start changing colors, turning into beautiful shades of red and brown and orange and gold. I mean, man, it would be so lovely when fall gets here. It would be so pretty. And the pumpkins. Don't forget about the pumpkins. I'm excited about it already. And I hope you are too. So I hope you have a very good day. And remember that every round goes higher and higher. I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.